If you're buried, you automatically have a coffin and a headstone, much larger, so if you're cremated, why can't you have something smaller? You know, there must be other people like me that want something more. And so I spoke to my daughters and my husband and said, I would like to do a memorial garden. My mother died in 1997, and we opened the gardens in 2002. So it really took 5 years of going through the planning, the legalities, the layouts for the garden and that sort of thing. We knew we wanted it different. We didn't want it just lawns, we wanted individual gardens. And I think the whole thing behind it was giving people a choice, another choice. And when you look around these gardens, you know, there's the Garden of Time, the Garden of Peace, the Hill of Roses, the Garden of Time. It's all a choice where people would like to go. So that's how it came about.
We have made a few friends up here. One of the ladies living in one of the bungalows across the way, Cynthia, used to chat to her, call on her, take her bread puddings or a bunch of flowers.
She used to put flowers on her husband's grave.
That's
here,
right.
Didn't she?
And when she couldn't get to her husband's grave, we would put flowers on her husband's grave. And eventually she died.
Yes, she passed away.
And there are a few other people that we have a sort of a friendship with, not a very deep friendship, but a friendship with because of this place.
And I think it's better than a graveyard as well, much better than
we have this little area, little circle with a rose tree growing in it and a block of granite with Janet's name on, and we consider this is a part of part of us, and it's part of our history, and it's a part of us, and it's Heather's mother, my wife, and that's the way we like it. We can sit, we can talk if we wish.
It has its beauty all seasons, spring, summer, autumn and winter,
That's
doesn't
right.
it? It's lovely.
Last year, because of the adverse weather conditions, we had to cancel the Christmas event, and so we've decided to hold one at Easter. It's now become a very popular event. The last Christmas service that we held, it attracted about 1,200 people. So far we've had about 500 or 600 responses. We're expecting that number. It may be more. I guess it'd be rather dependent on the weather that we have on the day.
It's a common cause because everybody there has lost somebody, and I think it's just a coming together of of so many people. You know, whether you're religious, all right, you have a is he the pastor or
yeah, from the Rowans
normally. Yeah, and he's he says his little piece, and they sing a few hymns, but to me that's not really going to church. That's just celebrating our daughter. And they go to a lot of trouble, because you get 500-600 people coming up there. We go around the main little fountain and that, and it's unbelievable. Of course at winter time it's very cold. It's not so bad maybe at Easter, but I just find it, it's really good. We look forward to it, and I think it is. It's just a celebration of the fact that we can come and celebrate Easter with our loved ones.
Lord of light and all creation, we give you thanks for the beauty of this day and this place, as today we celebrate the lives of those we love. May they know the joy we feel for them in their new life, where they live in the peace of your love. May the road rise to meet you. May the sun be always at your back, and the rain fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may the Lord hold you in the palm of his hand. Amen. right side, open the right side.
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah, very well.
Excellent. Okay, here we go. It's a bit of a Titanic moment, isn't it?
Got my tassels wet anyway. Today it was a celebration of life, and I think we can all recognise there's sadness in loss, but also in the sadness of those that we have lost, we can also celebrate the joy of their life, not only their past life, but maybe their new life. And so whatever you believe in terms of resurrection, which is very Easter, also the whole thing that life goes on, is a good thing to celebrate, and maybe it helps people to think about that. A couple of people I was talking to are very much still in their bereavement, and then they kind of get another view on it and say, well, yeah, actually life does go on, and maybe I need to explore that a bit more. So it gives you the chance to deepen your faith or explore your own spirituality.
They say time is a healer, but like I say, it's very difficult. People cope in a different way, and I think you just have good days of coping and then not totally good days of coping.
I am now a widow. I'm 81 years old. I was married for 51 years. I lost my husband in 2002, very suddenly, but that's life. Well, of course, I'm one of these people that I think I keep my grief private to myself. Occasionally there were the odd tears talking to Barbara, but she was a great help, because I remember her saying to me once, would you want him to be feeling like you? And I said, oh goodness, no.
I had two children, Nicola first, born in 1970, and Bradley was born in 1973. Unfortunately, Nicola died unexpectedly 4 years ago from a heart problem that nobody knew about. She died in the February, and we had her put here the 12th of April, ready for the 15th of April, which would have been her 37th birthday. So what's that?
That's 4 years. She's
4
been here
years.
for just over 4 years now.
Memories are a treasure. That saying is quite true, but we never wanted memories.
We only wanted you.
Every time that there is a problem, a death or something, there's always some little thing or some not so little thing that comes out of it that's quite good. One of the blokes, Sid is a sort of unofficial caretaker. I think he's being paid a slight amount of money, and he comes along and he sweeps up the main road, and he weeds, you know, this main track, and he weeds part of it, and he'll come around and he'll tidy up the bits and pieces. That's Sid.
Super Sid, he opens the gates, he lives there, and he keeps an eye on anyone that comes in the garden. He'll shut the gates at the end of the day, and if he finds people in here and that, and he comes down and does a little macho thing. I mean, he's very active for a guy of 90. I mean, you wouldn't get up and do what he does, you know. I think his missus keeps him in check. Definitely. Yeah. The community as a whole, as your time's gone on, it has actually got, well, people just like it. Everyone's just blended in really well, and over the 6-7 years I've been here, it's peaceful. Everyone seems to get on well. Yeah, everyone seems to know each other. Everyone seems to keep an eye out, and you can't. I mean, you can't get away with nothing without anyone seeing you. You know what I mean? Which is good. There's always eyes. Sometimes that's a disadvantage, but other times it's an advantage because you just don't know what's going on or what you haven't seen. Weekends when we're not here, someone's here. There's always eyes looking in there, which is why that's there, I suppose.
We're in the 6th year now that Janet has gone, and I and both of my daughters and my grandchildren, we constantly miss her. We constantly think of her, and in some ways it's almost as if she hasn't gone, because she does retain an enormous amount of our thoughts. It's odd though, isn't it, that it takes death to bring people together.
You know, there is a need, I think, for some people. You know, there are very sad occasions. I mean, but I would say, you know, that it is a very fulfilling thing. And I think what we've experienced over the years is that I've always thought that there would be people like myself that would want something like this.
Well, I think the family that I'm blessed with, that I've come from, and my own family, we are extremely close, quite exceptionally, I would say. And of course, it's all about working together, and we probably wouldn't have what we've got here if we hadn't, and you know, wouldn't continue to be successful. And hopefully it's growing as our family's growing. You know, the business is, and I'd like to think it would be within the family for generations to come.